Welcome! Today we're soaring through the roaring 20s.
Presidents of the 1920s were Woodrow Wilson, Warren G. Harding, Calvin Coolidge, and Herbert Hoover.
Food in the 1920s. Some Americans in the 1920s preferred food with sugar and fruit. Many new kitchen appliances were introduced. Americans in the 1920s ate carrots, lettuce, and string beans.
Some favorites were sliced pineapples, bananas, jello, upside-down cake, and ice cream. The public's eating habits changed as Americans ate fewer starches such as bread and potatoes and ate more fruit and sugar.
Entertainment in the 1920s. Jazz gained popularity in America and worldwide by the 1920s. In the early years, jazz was considered as the devil's music by diverse segments of the American public.
Some inventions of the 1920s included Band-Aids, the lie detector, notebooks with spiral bindings, a traffic signal, and the liquid-fueled rocket.
Some important happenings in the 1920s were: on January 16, 1920, the 18th Amendment was passed banning the making and selling of alcohol, starting Prohibition. On August 18, 1920, the 19th Amendment was ratified, giving women the right to vote. In October of 1921, the World Series was first radio broadcasted. On May 5, 1925, Tennessee teacher John Scopes was arrested for teaching Charles Darwin's theory of evolution. And on November 18, 1928, Walt Disney film Steamboat Willie premiered, featuring a new character, Mickey Mouse.
Fashion in the 1920s. Women's fashion in the 1920s had a huge change by the end of World War I. In a period of time considered as the Roaring Twenties, the Flappers look was formed. Some famous men's hats were the Derby, the Newsboy, the Fedora, the Top Hat, and the Gambler.
Famous people of the 1920s: Avenger/Aviator Charles Lindbergh, gangster Al Capone, author F. Scott Fitzgerald, musician Duke Ellington, and actors Al Jolson and Charlie Chaplin. Also, boxer Jack Dempsey, baseball star Babe Ruth, and scientist Albert Einstein. Some of the female stars were Coco Chanel, actress Louise Brooks, and Gloria Swanson.
Here are some fun facts.
On December 28, 1929, the United States stock market crashed.
Alexander Fleming accidentally discovered penicillin.
The price of a Ford Model T was about $20 in 1925. Hope you had fun soaring through the roaring 20s.
Say cheese, it's the 1880s. In June 17, 1885, the Statue of Liberty arrives for the first time in New York Harbor. And June 1, 1880, the national population reaches 50,189,209 people. October 9, 1888, the Washington Monument officially opens to the public. And in 1883, the Brooklyn Bridge was officially built.
Baked Alaska, American meatloaf, pecan pie, saltwater taffy, and Salisbury steak were invented. Also in 1885, Dr. Pepper was invented.
In 1882, Dr. Charles Scatz Wheeler invented the first electricity-powered fan.
Coca-Cola was invented in 1886.
For men, pants were usually black or striped. The cutaway jacket was introduced, allowing the watch chain to be seen.
For women, the skirt of the dress was narrow, and after 1882, the skirt became wider again. The dresses often had high necks. The dresses could weigh up to 15 to 20 pounds because they were made out of heavy fabric.
The Statue of Liberty was later on placed on Liberty Island in 1885.
Helen Keller was born in 1880. She was the first woman who was blind and deaf. Douglas MacArthur was also born in 1880. He was an American general that fought in World War I and World War II. William S. Harley and his best friend Arthur Davidson began putting motorized engines in bicycles.
There's a lot of people born in the 1880s.
Yes, there is.
On September 2, 1885, the Rock Spring Wyoming mining incident happened when 150 miners attacked their Chinese co-workers, killing 28 and forcing a lot more to leave.
March 23, 1889, President Benjamin Harrison opens up Oklahoma lands to white settlement. More than 50,000 people flocked to claim land.
In March, the first working dishwasher was invented by Josephine Gillis, and fossil hunters found and identified nearly 130 American dinosaurs.
In 1881, the Oriental Telephone Company was invented. Also, the first motion picture camera was invented. That's all for now. Bye.
Welcome to the 1910s, the crash of the fashion world. I'm Mackenzie,
And I'm Trevor, and we're from Southampton, England.
and we're going to tell you about the 1910s.
First, we're going to tell you about the Titanic.
The designer of the extravagant ship was Thomas Andrew. The ship was launched on May 31st, 1911, and it was believed to be unsinkable.
During the building progress, 2 men died. 20 horses were used to move the anchor. It struck the iceberg on April 14th, 1912, and sank 2 hours and 40 minutes later.
Now that that's over, here's some entertainment from our time. Ping pong, Tinker Toys, Raggedy Anns, and Cupid dolls were popular.
Some popular foods from our time are Jell-O, peanut butter, cookies, apple crisp, cherry mash, marshmallow fluff, fettuccine alfredo, and Oreos.
Believe it or not, this is what Oreos look like in our day. In 1914, World War I broke out, causing chaos in the fashion world. Since men left for war, women worked in factories, so instead of wearing formal clothes, they wore more comfortable attire.
Here's some fun facts. The traffic light once had orange in it. The national debt was $1.15 billion. The U.S. population was 92,407,000.
Now we have to get off the Titanic before it crashes.
Let's hurry.
The 1980s. It's like a totally tubular time.
Some 1980 inventions were the first robotic heart that saved Barney Clark for 112 days, and the Commodore 64 was released.
Dance moves were the Running Man, the MC Hammer Dance, Macarena, Sprinkler, the Moonwalk, the Worm, and the Robot.
Some 1980 shows, movies, and games were Family, Who's the Boss, The Golden Girls. Some movies were Jaws, E.T., and Gremlins, and the game Pac-Man was released.
Toys were talking dolls like Sonny Walkman, Talking Elf, Star Wars figures, Pound Puppies, My Little Ponies, Care Bears, Cabbage Patch Kids, GoBots, and Boglins.
The 1980 Challenger. After 73 seconds into launch on January 28, 1986, the Challenger space shuttle exploded and the crew inside it perished from the crash.
Some famous people were Barney Clark, who was saved by the robotic heart, Tom Cruise, who was an actor, Eddie Murphy was a comedian, actor, and writer, and Burt Reynolds, who was an actor, director, and producer.
Some 1980 songs were Magic, Girls Just Want to Have Fun, and Wake Me Up Before You Go Go.
Politics includes the last year of the Jimmy Carter presidency, the 1980 Olympics, the 1981 to 1989 Ronald Reagan was president, and the first 3 years of the George H.W. Bush presidency.
Some 1980 foods were Sloppy Joe's, Muffin Tin Meatloaf, Tri-Colored Pasta Salad, Rice-A-Roni, Bread Bowl, Chicken Pot Pie, and 7-layer dip.
Fashions were shoulder pads, customized denim jackets, mirrored sunglasses, white heels, leg warmers, and crazy patterned leggings.
Some 1980 fun facts. Mount St. Helens erupted in May 1980.
Prince Charles marries Lady Diana July 29, 1982.
January 30 through 31st, 1982, a huge snowstorm hits.
And that's the 1980s, dudes.
1860s. It's dynamite.
Okay. Clothing. Women wore frilly dresses with puffed out sleeves that start at the elbow. About 3 to 4 inches with the waist legs they puffed out and wore tuxedos. Fish and chips were a popular food. Corn, celery, and peanuts. Corned beef, pork, chicken were also popular. Lamb, mutton, and turkey. Compressed beef granola. Golden mustard beef, and now on to some important dates and inventions. The date they happened. On January 1st, 1866, the torpedo, a water missile, was invented. January 1st, 1861, elevator brakes were invented. November 2nd, 1861, the bicycle was invented. November 6th, 1867, people improved generators. November 6th, 1867, antiseptic. November 8th, 1867, incandescent lamps were invented. November 6th, 1865, the U.S. Secret Service was established. January 1st, 1862, plastic was created.
January 1st, 1867, typewriters came out.
January 1st, 1867, motorcycles were invented. They were a new fast-lane travel.
May 9th, 1862, machine gun.
November 7th, 1868, traffic lights were invented.
November 14th, 1867, dynamite.
Okay, now we're on to some fun facts that are okay. The Russian blue cat was bred.
The Confiscation Act was passed January 1st, 1862.
The Civil War started April 12th, 1861, and ended May 9th, 1865. It was a 4-year war.
Abraham Lincoln was the 16th U.S. president.
Ulysses S. Grant was the 18th U.S. president.
Abraham Lincoln only had 18 months of formal school. He also wanted women to vote. He was a big animal lover, and he was assassinated April 15th, 1865.
Ulysses S. Grant was the youngest U.S. president at age 46. He was commander of the Union Army and died July 23, 1985.
Some popular books were War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy and Great Expectations by Charles Dickens in our decade.
For entertainment, they read books, played checkers, chess, leapfrog, cricket, and they bowled. They also gambled, wrestled, danced, and boxed.
1860s, it's dynamite.
All aboard the 1870s. That's right, because the Transcontinental Railroad stretched all the way from the East Coast to the West Coast of the U.S.
The Transcontinental Railroad made traveling much cheaper than before.
And the train chefs served fresh meals to all the passengers.
Entertainment included color, photograph, and motion picture.
The Adventures of Tom Sawyer was written and recorded sound was invented.
Theaters opened and popular plays such as Romeo and Juliet were released.
The telephone, telegraph, barbed wire, and motorized tricycle were invented.
The penny farthing, microphone, electric tram, and roller skates were also invented.
So were blue jeans, can openers, cash registers, and milk chocolate.
Heinz ketchup was also invented, and popular foods at the time were turtle soup, mutton chops, omelets, steaks,
Fried potatoes, roast pig, sweet potatoes, and calf's head.
Popular drinks and candy were tea, milk chocolate, rock candy, gum, and Quaker Mills oatmeal.
The men's fashion was usually a sack suit, top hat, and dress shoes. They also sometimes wore black gloves.
The women's fashion was usually black gloves, cotton dresses, and a parasol or an umbrella.
and America had its 100th birthday, and the first African American was sworn into office too. And Mississippi was readmitted to the U.S.
The 15th Amendment ratifies women to be allowed to vote, starting from Utah, then spreading.
Donkeys were first used as the Democratic symbol, and Ulysses S. Grant was America's president.
The population was 38,558,371. Colorado became a state. Houdini was born, and there was bacteria identification.
There was the first Kentucky Derby and Jesse James' first successful train robbery.
People also like to play tennis.
Lewis Carroll wrote Alice Through the Looking Glass, and the first U.S. zoo was opened.
Charles Dickens, the author of A Christmas Carol, died in the 1870s.
Edwin S. Porter invented the simplex camera, and the Chicago Fire broke out.
Thank you for riding the 1870s Express.
Let's rock around the clock.
To the 1950s.
In the 1950s, people liked some crazy foods, such as fruitcakes, rice cakes, chicken parm, Mexican wedding cakes, and spaghetti.
Some of the drinks that they had were more modern. They had smoothies, 7-Up, Crush, Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper, and Pepsi-Cola.
Some of the restaurants were McDonald's, KFC, Burger King, and Dunkin' Donuts.
There were two presidents in that time. Their names were Harry Truman and Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Harry Truman served from 1949 to 1953, and Dwight D. Eisenhower served 2 terms.
Lots of things were invented in the 1950s, such as the TV remote, Legos, and the peace symbol. Another thing is that NASA was founded. The cat. Dr. Seuss published The Cat in the Hat, and Laika, a Russian dog, became the first animal to enter orbit.
Some famous TV shows in the 1950s were Gunsmoke, I Love Lucy, Lassie, Father Knows Best, Wagon Train, The Little Rascals, Tom and Jerry, Batman, Superman, and Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Their clothes were very interesting. Most women wore a button-down shirt and a poodle skirt. Men wore a white t-shirt and rolled-up jeans.
In the 50s, the famous Disney Cinderella movie was released, and so was Alice in Wonderland.
The first modern credit card was invented, and another thing is that President Truman ordered construction of the hydrogen bomb. And that's what life was like in the 1950s.
Buckle up, it's the 1950s.
Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on December 1st, 1955. Elvis Presley was the king of rock and roll in the 1950s. These are a few of the famous people in 1950.
Music was also really big in the 1950s. Some styles included rock, traditional pop, country, and rhythmic blues.
The seatbelt was invented in the 1950s. It was just a leather strap around your waist.
That doesn't seem very safe to me, Shelby. Popular drinks of the 1950s include Irish coffee, cappuccinos, diet soda, and smoothies, too. Popular foods of the 1950s were frozen pizza, marshmallow peeps, thumbprint cookies, lemon bars, cheese whiz, Mexican wedding cakes, Italian American spaghetti, green bean casserole, and ew, the chocolate covered ants. Real ones. Ew.
Popular women's fashion of the 1950s included hats, scarves, blouses, trumpet skirts, and large hoop earrings. Popular men's fashion included suit jackets, suspenders, ties, and trousers.
Girls baseball was very popular in the 1950s. It was called AAMPBL, or All-American Girl Professional Baseball League.
The color TV was invented in the 1950s.
The credit card was invented in the 1950s. It was invented by the Diners Club and was used only to pay charged money. In the 1950s, 11 masked bandits stole millions of dollars from an armored car in Boston. Hawaii became a state, and there were 2 presidents in this decade. They were Harry S. Truman and Dwight D. Eisenhower.
The first organ transplant happened. It was done on December 23rd. It was done on Ronald Hendrick.
Some inventions of the 1950s include credit cards, hula hoops, frisbees, and robots. Some cures and discoveries were DNA, the polio vaccine, and the first organ transplant.
You can unbuckle because you're getting off the ride of the 1950s.
Welcome to the colorful life of 1900. You can learn about the fashion, inventions, food, and more.
Some fashions of the 1900s were skirts or long dresses for the women.
The men wore full suits and above the ankle boots.
The children were the same as the adults, but smaller.
Some inventions from 1900 were tea bags, teddy bears,
Crayons, Christmas lights, and vacuum cleaners. Some famous people were Babe Ruth, W.C. Handy.
Theodore Roosevelt, William Howard, and Edward VII.
Some food from the 1900s were pies, muffins, ice cream.
Hershey's chocolate, brownies, fruits and vegetables, steak, roast beef, and also ham.
Some government facts would be William Howard Taft was elected president.
The Russian Revolution started, and Theodore Roosevelt had the first inauguration.
Some music from the 1900s was Yankee Doodle.
Take Me Out to the Ball Game, Sweet Adeline, and Your Grand Old Flag.
Some entertainment that people enjoyed was The Great Train and A Trip to the Moon, which are movies.
Memphis Blues by W.C. Handy was also a popular song too. Some enjoyable sports were baseball, basketball, football, tennis, skiing, boxing, and also women figure skating.
Some fun facts would be the first hot fudge sundaes were made, Walt Disney was born, and a state was added to the U.S.
4 more fun facts are the first Baseball World Series, Queen Victoria died, Alice in Wonderland came out, and the Wright brothers had their first flight. The 1900s sure was fun. We're glad we got to share it with everyone.
Hi, and welcome to the 1910s. It's just a hop, skip, and a boat sink away.
That's right, because that Titanic sank in this decade. It hit an iceberg coming back from Queenstown, Ireland. Also, the Lusitania sank in this decade because it was shot by Germans.
The entertainment was set aside from all the sinkings. In the 1910s, the teddy bear was invented. The Frankenstein movie was also produced. It was only 15 minutes long.
If you like sports, you should check out boxing. In the first fight of the century, Jack Johnson beat James Jeffries.
Another sport was tennis. Dick Williams and Carl Bear, both tennis stars, survived that Titanic shipwreck.
Another person who survives near-death experiences is Harry Houdini, famous escape artist.
In the 1910s, a lot of clothes were made out of silk, wool, and cloth.
They used this material to make long dresses, men's suits, and hats.
Jell-O was a popular dessert in 1910. They also ate a lot of cake.
Back to people, Woodrow Wilson overcame a 3-way race for presidency in 1912.
A few accomplishments were the sewing machine, the air conditioning, the Panama Canal, and the first self-starter automobile.
At around 1911, Hiram Bingham found Machu Picchu.
The first round trip over the English Channel was June 2nd, 1910.
Maybe we should talk more about entertainment, like the Wizard of Oz film that came out in 1912.
I'm kind of hungry. Oreos were actually supposed to be ice cream cookies.
Really? Oh, well, anyway. The first Father's Day was celebrated in 1910s.
The first commercially successful electric bus line opens. The first known female cop appointed Alice Stebbins Wells by the Los Angeles Police Department.
We really need a cop because World War I started in 1913, and they started using poison gas in 1915. And in 1911, the Mona Lisa was stolen. Also, we're kind of in the grand staircase of the Titanic, and we might need to get out of here sometime soon.
A passenger on the SS Arwada threw a bottle with a note inside overboard. It wasn't found until June 6, 1983.
Goodbye, and watch out for those icebergs.